you're heading to parties this weekend, I've got 6 puzzles for you. They're, my only definition on the puzzles is that they need to be fairly easy, so you have to be able to do them fairly quick. They have to look really easy. Some of them you can even do in front of the person, the solution, and they wouldn't be able to get it. And then they kind of have to be smaller. I wanted something that could ideally fit in your pocket. Maybe something like this might be a little big, but so let's just take a look at them here. So first, I've got this one. It's actually a pretty old one. It's called the Yacht. And if you notice, Yacht spelled backwards is toy. And so I really like the look of this one. I don't know if I love the solution as much, but it's got a cool look. If you look there, there's a coin inside, and this has got this metal frame around it with a little handle on the back that spins. So you can feel it spins a bit on the, you hold that handle. And so you got to get the coin out. And so it's actually pretty easy. You just hold the bottom here, and you give the top a spin, and then you pull. Oh, let me just try it again. Wait, no, it's upside down. There we go. That's what it is. There, and then it pulls up. And so essentially what it is there's like centrifugal force gets these pins out, and then there's actually, even if they did the spin, there is these little balls in there that kind of hold it in, and you do have to pull. But the whole coin comes out, so you can see this is an American dollar coin. You just put it back in. So that's nice, simple, easy solution, and something that's really easy to reproduce. I don't always want ones too that, or for this, you wouldn't want stuff that's hard to reproduce, that you couldn't get every time. So that's kind of some of the clarification on these. Next is the Tangled Nails. And so you got to get the 2 nails apart, and it's a spin. Oh, and I'm going to forget how to do it. There we go. So it's a spin, and you bring it back through like that. And so it looks, this is one where you could show them actually. You could show the solution, and they wouldn't be able to reproduce it. So you just get fast enough that you can do it like that, and someone's going to see that, and they're not going to know what you're doing, and they're going to fool around with it. So it looks easy, not easy though. Same thing with this one. Looks easy, but not. This one you couldn't show the solution, and you'd actually want to hand it to them in 2 pieces. This is the cast diamond from Hanayama, and it comes in 2 pieces like that. So you'd want to hand them the pieces and say put them together into 1 piece. And when you see it, it's really easy, but in I don't know, when you're actually doing it, it's fairly hard to do. So you want to put them back to back, and it just spins on. So it looks real easy when you do it, and it is a fairly easy puzzle, but like doing it in a few minutes, I don't know, that'd be a little more difficult. And then we'll go here to one of my favorites called the Rocket. It's from Sloyd, and you just gotta get the cylinder out. So there's a cylinder inside this wood piece. You sit on the table, and what you gotta do is tell the person they can't dump the puzzle over like that. They can't pick it up off the table, and they can't like jostle it or whatever, and they gotta get that cylinder out. So the whole trick is that you blow and it comes out, right? So it's the blow like that, and you can get the cylinder out. So that's the trick to that one. So really easy to reproduce, and something you can kind of trick people with. Along that same line is one here called Grossmal. And it's a fairly new one from Jean-Claude Constantine. Now this one's a little more complicated as far as the look of the puzzle, but the actual solution is very similar to the Rocket. And so there's 2 little washers here on posts, and then there's a plastic piece that's loose in there, and the plastic piece has lines on it, and you gotta get the plastic piece out through the round opening here in the acrylic. And so the puzzle, obviously, like, it won't go through the top, and you got to figure out how to do that. Now, the funny thing on this one, there actually is kind of 2 solutions to it. There's one where you can like jiggle it like this, and eventually it does, you can get it to pop because it'll come through here. But the problem is that it's got to get above those washers without the washers coming up, right? So you can shake it like that. It takes a while, and someone might be able to do it that way after like shaking for like, I don't know, a minute or something, 30 seconds. But there's a way to do this puzzle that you can solve it in like 2 seconds flat, like every time. And so the trick is that plastic piece actually is kind of an oval or egg shape almost. It's not round, it looks round. And you got to get those lines on the piece so that they're horizontal. And then what you do is you blow, and it comes out the bottom like that, and then it just falls out that little hole there. But the blowing in it shakes it, and it shakes up and then goes out the bottom. So while someone could solve it longer shaking it, you can solve it really quick by blowing in it like that. So that's a fun one, kind of similar to the Rocket with a little bit of an extra twist to it. And then there's this one called Sputnik, And it's really kind of weird. It seems like an impossible object, right? Because there's this ball in the middle, and each of these pieces is actually a C shape, and but you can't get them apart, right? And so the trick to this puzzle is actually fairly simple, but you just you fold it like that, and because it's wood, you feel like, oh man, I'm gonna break it. But that's the whole trick, is that the wood bends, and then the ball just kind of goes back in the middle here. And so it's kind of a neat one that, like, usually people are like, oh, I can't force or bend it, I don't want to break something, right? But that's the whole, this puzzle almost is like the anti-puzzle when it comes to like how you solve it, really. It's kind of a funny one. So that's Sputnik. It's I think it's Jean-Claude Constantine or Stephen Stein's Spiel. I don't remember, but it's a really, really unique, interesting puzzle. Probably the biggest of the 6 that I'm showing you here. But that's 6 puzzles you can take to parties and impress your friends. Maybe win a few free beer. You bet them if you can solve this in, I don't know, 2 minutes. I'll buy you a beer. If you can't, you buy me a beer, right? So have some fun, and just great little party tricks for your next party.